Good afternoon, students. Today, let us study the next topic in electricity chapter, that is electric potential. Before moving on to the topic, let us just recall what you have learnt in your last class. You all had studied about electric current. Yes, what is electric current? It is defined as the rate of flow of charges is termed as electric current. Yes, what is electric current? The rate of flow of charges is termed as electric current. Yes, the formula for electric current, that is I is equal to Q divided by T, where Q is the charge and T is the time. Therefore, electric current I is equal to charge Q divided by time T. This is the formula which is used to calculate the electric current. If one of the unknown term is given, we can calculate the given things. Next, the SI unit of electric current is coulomb per second, because the charge is having a unit coulomb and time second. Therefore, the unit of electric current is coulomb per second, or it is also called as ampere and denoted by the capital symbol A. So, the SI unit, what is the SI unit of electric current? It is coulomb per second, or it is also called as ampere. Then how can we define the SI unit, that is 1 ampere? Define 1 ampere. If the question is, the definition is, we can define it as, if 1 coulomb of charge flows through a conductor in 1 second, then the current is said to be 1 ampere. This is the definition of 1 ampere. Yes, 1 ampere, how it is defined? The current in a circuit is said to be 1 ampere if 1 coulomb of charge flows through a conductor in 1 second. Okay, this is the definition for 1 ampere. Then, which is a device used to measure electric current? That is ammeter. Ammeter is a electric device which is used to measure electric current. Again, one thing you have to remember, ammeter is always connected in series with the resistor in an electric circuit. Remember this thing, ammeter is connected in series with the resistor. Okay, so this you had learned. Now, based on the formula, let us solve an example problem, okay, which is there in your page number 94. Page number 94, example 12.1. Okay, the problem is, a current of 0.5 ampere is drawn by a filament of an electric bulb for 10 minutes. Find the amount of electric charge that flows through the circuit. Yes? Understand the question first. What is given here? Current of 0.5 ampere is used for glowing a electric bulb, and it is glowed for 10 minutes. What we have to find? We have to find the charge, electric charge that is flowing in the electric circuit. So, after reading the question, first thing is you have to write what is given in the problem. So, which are the given things? Let us write down now. Yes, current I is equal to, how much it is? 0.5 ampere. Then time t is given. Time t is equal to 10 minutes. What we have to find? Electric charge. Therefore Q you have to find. Yes, which is the formula? Electric current I is equal to Q divided by T. Here which is unknown for us? Q. Therefore Q is equal to electric current I into time T. So now what you have to do? You have to substitute what is given. Before substituting it, you have to check whether electric current and time are in SI unit. So electric current SI unit is ampere. So it is correct, 0.5 ampere. Next, time, what is the SI unit? That is second. So it is given in minute. We have to convert it into second. So how to convert? 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Therefore 10 minutes is equal to 10 into 60, which is equal to 600 seconds. Okay. It is 600 seconds. So now substitute here. What is current I? I is equal to 0.5 ampere into time is 600. So which is equal to, how much it is? It is equal to 300. 0.5 into 600, which is equal to 300 coulomb. So the amount of electric charge that flows through the circuit is 300 coulomb. Yes, I is equal to 0.5 and T is 600. So multiply I into T, that is 0.5 into 600. If you multiply, you are going to get the charge Q is equal to 300 coulomb. So always you have to write the unit, SI unit of charge here. So 300 coulomb. Okay, let us move on to the next example. It's not the example, it is the question in page number, question number 3 in page number 94. Calculate the number of electron constituting 1 coulomb of charge. So here what is given? The number of electrons. We have to calculate, they have told, where it constitute 1 coulomb of charge. That means charge is given, that is Q is equal to 1 coulomb. Yes, what is the charge on an electron? You all have studied in the last class, that is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. Yeah, 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Yeah, so what we have to find? Number of electron. Number of electron we have to find. So here the formula is charge Q is equal to N into E. N means number and E means it is the charge of an electron. So here we want N. Therefore N is equal to Q divided by E. So substitute Q and E here. Q is equal to 1 coulomb. And charge of an electron, that is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. Yeah. 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. So what happens? Which is equal to 1 divided by 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. So which will be, if you divide, we are going to get it as 6.25 into 10 raised to 18 electron. So the electron which constitute 1 coulomb of charge, that is 6.25 into 10 raised to 18 electron. So this is the general which you have learnt in last class also. I had given 1 coulomb of charge constitutes 6.25 into 10 raised to 18 electron, right? This is how we are going to calculate it. Okay, now let us move on to the next topic, today's topic, that is electric potential and potential difference. Okay, before going to study that topic, let us just recall, yes, why does air flow? You'll have the answer in your mind that is because of air pressure difference. When there is a difference in air pressure, then there is a flow of air from higher pressure to lower pressure. In the same way, if you take an example of heat, if there is a difference in temperature, so heat flows due to the difference in temperature. So the heat flows from higher temperature towards lower temperature. Similarly, if you take an example of water, water flows from higher potential to lower potential. Similarly, here current also flows through because of there is a potential difference. When there is a potential difference in an electric circuit, then the current starts flowing. So today let us study now what is this potential, what is potential difference. Okay, so yes, you can see how to make the flow of charge happen through the conductor. So how the charges are made to flow in a conductor. So you all know, in an electric circuit you are going to connect a battery, where battery is giving the external force or external charge, right? So in order to pass the charge through a conductor, we have to push additional charges from one end, and at the same time the same amount of charge from the other end is withdrawn. So this can be achieved. This can be achieved with the help of a device known as battery or an electric cell. I think all of you have seen an electric cell where it contains positive terminal and a negative terminal, right? Here you can see a battery where it is having two terminals, positive and negative. Internally it is connected, that is two cells are connected where it is a battery. Okay, so how the flow of charges takes place? When additional charge is made to flow from one end, at the same time the same amount of charge is withdrawn from the other end. Yes, then what is a battery? Yes, battery, you can see here in the picture where two electric cells are connected, two or more electric cells are connected to form a battery, where positive terminal is having high potential and the negative terminal is where it is low potential. Okay, so towards positive where the electrons are less and towards negative terminal electrons are more, but here high potential where the positive high potential towards the positive terminal, and where negative terminal it is low potential. Okay, when two or more electric cells are connected in series, you can see end-to-end connection here where it is connected in series. This system is called as a battery. Okay, so battery or electric cell has two terminal, positive terminal and a negative terminal. So there are two terminals, positive and a negative terminal. Positive terminal is known as high potential because of its high potential energy. So positive terminal is having high potential because it is having high potential energy, while negative terminal is known as low potential where it is having low potential energy. Okay. Okay, what is electric potential then? What is electric potential? Let us study now. The ability of a battery's terminal to push a unit charge into the conductor is known as electric potential. Yes, what is electric potential? It is the ability to push a unit charge into the conductor. Or it also can be defined as work done in bringing a unit positive charge. I'll consider point A. So there is a charge Q. A work done in bringing this unit positive charge from infinity, this point let us consider as infinity, to a given point. So work done in bringing the unit charge from infinity to a given point, then this is called as electric potential. Once again I will repeat, what is electric potential? Work done in bringing unit positive charge from infinity to a given point is called as electric potential. Then what is potential difference? So now here in a battery you can see there is a difference, that is one side positive terminal is having high potential and negative terminal is having low potential. Now work done in bringing the charge from one point towards the other point, other terminal, one terminal. Work done in bringing the charge from one terminal towards the other terminal. Okay, work done in bringing the charge. So here the difference of electric potential between the positive and negative terminal of a battery defines the battery's power to push a charge into the conductor, or more specifically it is known as potential difference. In a easy method we can define it as work done in bringing a positive charge from one point to the other point is called as potential difference. Yes, potential difference is also known as voltage. Yes, potential difference is also known as voltage. You can see the definition here which I had told. Potential difference or voltage between any 2 points is called as, the voltage between any 2 points is called as potential difference. So what is potential difference? It is defined as work done in moving a unit charge from one point to another point. Yes, what is potential difference? Work done in moving a unit charge from one point to another point is called as potential difference. Once again I'll repeat, what is potential difference? The work done in moving a unit charge from one point to another point. So we can write the formula, that is potential difference V is equal to work done upon the charge. So V is equal to W divided by Q. You can see here V is voltage, that is potential difference is equal to work done W divided by charge Q. So its SI unit will be joule The unit of work is joule. And the unit of charge is coulomb. So the SI unit of voltage is joule per coulomb, or this joule per coulomb is also called as volt. Okay, joule per coulomb is also called as volt. So SI unit of voltage, if it is asked, you have to remember both the SI unit, that is joule per coulomb, or it is also called as volt. This name volt, SI unit volt, is given in the honor of Alessandro Volta, this physicist. Alessandro Volta, who had worked on this potential difference. So the unit, SI unit, is given in the honor of his name, that is Alessandro Volta. So the unit is volt, joule per coulomb, also called as volt. So the SI unit of potential difference or the SI unit of voltage is joule per coulomb or volt. Okay, voltage between 2 points is said to be 1 volt. Now definition of 1 volt. So how to define? I'll just add 1 before joule and 1 before coulomb. Yes, the potential between 2 points is said to be 1 volt. If 1 coulomb of if 1 joule of work is done in moving 1 coulomb of charge. If 1 joule of work is done in moving 1 coulomb of charge, then the voltage is said to be 1 volt. Potential difference is said to be 1 volt. Yes, what is 1 volt? We can define 1 volt as when 1 joule of work is done in moving 1 coulomb of charge between this point, between the two potential difference. It may be positive and a negative terminal where there is a difference in its potential. So to move 1 joule of work, 1 joule of work is done in moving 1 coulomb of charge. To move 1 coulomb of charge from one point to another point, if 1 joule of work is done, then it is said to be 1 volt. Okay. So what is voltage? What is potential difference? The work done in moving a unit charge from one point to another is called as voltage or potential difference. The formula used is V is equal to W divided by Q, where W is the work done, which is in joule, and Q is the charge in coulomb. The SI unit of voltage or potential difference is joule per coulomb, or also called as volts. Okay, joule per coulomb or volt. So the definition of 1 volt is when 1 joule of work is done in moving 1 coulomb of charge between the two terminals or between the 2 points, then it is said to be 1 volt. Okay. To measure this potential difference, you can see here a device called voltmeter is used. What is a voltmeter? It is a device used to measure the voltage across the resistance in the circuit. What is voltmeter? It is a device used to measure the voltage. How it should be connected? It is always connected in parallel to the resistance. Do you remember how ammeter is connected? Ammeter is connected in series to the resistance, and here voltmeter is connected in parallel to the resistance. In the next class, further classes, you will study what is series and what is parallel connection, how it is connected. Okay. So, and voltmeter is having high internal resistance. Positive terminal of the voltmeter is connected to the positive side of the circuit and negative to the negative side. You can see here voltmeter symbol, where voltmeter symbol is capital V. So you can see the voltmeter here. Yes, voltmeter, its positive terminal is connected to the positive side of a battery. This is the positive side, this is the negative side. So negative side is connected towards the negative side. You can see here the parallel connection to the resistance. You can see the resistor here. Here the parallel connection is done. So positive end connected to one resistor, negative end is connected to the other end of the resistor, and that end is connected to the positive terminal towards the positive side of the battery and negative towards the negative side of the battery. Okay, so voltmeter is the device used to measure voltage or potential difference. Now putting everything together to understand how the bulb glows. Now total electric circuit, that is how the bulb starts glowing. So when all these are connected, okay, when the key is on, what happens? The circuit gets complete. You can see here in this picture where battery and the connecting wire is connected to the bulb. So you can see here the connection where the circuit is complete. So here there is the circuit is completed. Positive terminal is connected to one end of the bulb and the negative of the battery is connected to the other end of the bulb. So how the bulb glows? When the circuit is turned on, when the key is on, the positive terminal where the positive charge is more from the battery, which is at high potential, pushes positive charge into the bulb through the connecting wires. So here from this side the positive charge, you can see the arrow mark. Yes, arrow is shown from positive terminal where it is high potential. The positive charges are moving from high potential towards one end of the bulb. At the same time, the negative terminal where there is less positive charge of the battery, which is at low potential, pulls the positive charge towards the negative terminal, okay, through the conducting wire. You can see the towards the negative side the positive charge is been pulled. So here now this act of pushing charges through the positive terminal and at the same time withdrawing the same amount of charge through a negative terminal is known as completing the circuit. So this process, by this process, the electric circuit is complete. That means it is closed circuit we call. As the circuit becomes complete, the bulb starts glowing. The bulb starts glowing. So the bulb is, it means that we cannot make a bulb glow by connecting it only to high potential. The bulb will glow when it is both the ends is connected to one to high potential, the other to the towards the low potential. So when there is a potential difference in a circuit, then only the charges starts flowing. Otherwise till then it will be in the conductor in its own path. Okay, so we have to create a potential difference by connecting it to the battery. Okay, the conducting wire should be connected to the battery to create a potential difference, and it should be connected to high potential and low potential terminals to pass the current through it. Okay, if the wire is cut off here, imagine the wire is cut off here, whether the electric circuit becomes complete? No. So the bulb does not glow. So when again if it is connected, then what happens? The bulb starts glowing. Okay, so this is how the circuit is done, and when the circuit becomes complete and when the potential difference is created, then only the bulb is going to glow. Okay, today you have learnt about electric potential and potential difference. Yes, what is electric potential? What is potential? Work done to bring a unit charge from infinity to a given point is called as potential. What is potential difference? Potential difference we take between 2 points. Potential difference is between, we can define now potential difference as work done in bringing a unit charge from one point to the other point. So here we are considering, when we want to define potential difference, we are going to consider 2 points, where there is difference in its potential. So work done in bringing from the potential from one point towards the other point. So next, let us just solve one example which is given in your page number 96. That is example. Let us read the question. How much work is done in moving a charge of 2 coulomb across 2 points having a potential difference 12 volt? So now what is given? Charge, that is charge Q is equal to 2 coulomb in between the 2 points having the potential difference. So potential V, it is denoted by V, that is how much? 12 volt is given. So what we have to find? We have to find the work done. What is the work done? So write down the formula. Voltage V is equal to work done upon charge. So what happens? Work done, W is equal to V into Q. So substitute, voltage is 12 volt and charge is 2 coulomb. So 12 into 2, 12 2 is 24. What is the unit of work? That is joule. Unit of work is joule. So therefore it is 24 joule. Okay. So in today's topic, the questions which maybe you can face in the exam, that is, what is potential difference? I'll just define it. The potential difference means, it can be defined as the work done in bringing the unit charge from one point to other point. Okay. The formula is V is equal to W divided by Q, where W is the work done, Q is the charge. And next thing you have studied, that is SI unit of potential voltage, that is potential difference. SI unit of potential difference or SI unit of voltage is joule per coulomb, or which is also called as volt, on the name of Alexander Volta, which is given as volt. Next, what definition of 1 volt, which is also important. How do we define 1 volt? We can define 1 volt as the work done in bringing 1 joule. So 1 joule of work is done in bringing 1 coulomb of charge from one point to another point. Then we can say that it has 1 volt. So 1 volt potential difference definition it is. Okay. In next class, let us study about Ohm's law, where it is depending on electric current I and electric potential V. Okay, and let us study about resistance also in the next class.